suicidal and did not want to get shot and was confused. You're probably wondering why the father and the mother didn't speak out to assert his innocence. That would make sense, right? Well, interestingly enough, I'm told that it's because the feds told them that if they spoke out, their lives could be at risk. Like they needed to keep things private, and they convinced the family to go into witness protection. Like, your lives are in danger, you shouldn't say anything. Somebody could, just come back and try to harm you guys because of what your son did. You should go into witness protection. Don't speak to anybody. Trust us, we're the feds, bro. And they agreed, of course, in the fog of it all. Why wouldn't you agree? But then, like any good family, you start going, I don't really trust these feds. Like, I'm a little suspicious about the feds. Here's another point of interest, okay? His father had no idea that Tyler was gay.
Breaking news, eyewitnesses report that a woman was seen with the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk just moments before the attack. Yet, in the official story, she doesn't exist. When truth is silenced, lies fill the void. And tonight, we confront that silence. Why are crucial witnesses ignored? Why do the facts contradict the story? And why is justice being buried beneath headlines that don't add up? If you believe in truth, subscribe now. If you believe in justice, share this investigation. If you stand against silence, comment with the word truth. If you refuse to be misled, join this community of truth seekers. And if you don't subscribe, then tell us why you don't want justice to lead. Because the fight for truth begins here. Charlie Kirk, controversial political figure, was gunned down in what officials labeled a lone wolf attack. The shooter, Tyler Robinson, was painted as a radical, unstable young man. Case closed, they said. But the moment the crime scene tape came down, questions surfaced. No video shows Robinson firing the weapon. The ballistics don't perfectly match. And now, witnesses recall a woman with him just minutes before shots rang out. So, who was she? And why has her presence been erased from the narrative? Consider this. After the attack, Robinson's social media accounts were suddenly wiped. Posts deleted. Messages missing. His inner circle stopped speaking publicly. Even stranger, neighbors reported seeing cars circling his apartment the night before the shooting. Vehicles with no known plates. Drivers who never stepped out. And yet, those cars were never logged in police reports. Why erase these details, unless those details threatened the official story? Robinson's family insisted he was being set up. They pointed to troubling inconsistencies, like the fact that his phone was in airplane mode for hours, during the exact time friends claimed they were receiving texts from him. Some relatives distanced themselves completely. Others deleted their online accounts within 24 hours of his arrest. Was this fear? Or was it coordination? One thing is undeniable. The people closest to him weren't just grieving. They were hiding. Multiple witnesses recall seeing unfamiliar faces in the crowd. A tall man in a gray jacket. A woman in dark glasses. Strangers who appeared, and then vanished. Yet neither of them appear in official police body cam footage. Digital trails suggest out-of-state phone numbers pinged near the scene, numbers tied to burner devices, untraceable and disposable. So ask yourself, who were these people? And why, in a case of national significance, were they never identified? The lies didn't start big. They started small. At first, officials said the shooter's rifle had jammed. Later, they claimed it was fully operational. At first, they insisted the suspect's fingerprints were on the weapon. Then, suddenly, none could be confirmed. These aren't just mistakes. They are contradictions. And when small lies begin to stack up, they point to something much larger. Something darker. A cover-up. Reports now suggest that one of the unidentified individuals seen at the scene had ties overseas. Foreign messaging apps. International travel in the weeks leading up to the attack. If that's true, this case doesn't end with one man and one trigger. It stretches across borders. And here is where you come in. If you recognize this woman, if you've seen her photo, or know her name, your information could change everything. Even those tasked with investigating the crime aren't beyond suspicion. One lead detective was quietly promoted just days after the case was closed. Another officer's undisclosed political affiliations have only now come to light. And the prosecutor, who once promised full transparency, still refuses to release the complete autopsy. When officials shield the truth, who are they really protecting? So many questions remain unanswered. Why was Kirk transported to the wrong hospital? Why did the ambulance take a longer route? Why were surveillance tapes sealed under so-called national security? Why did leadership suddenly shift in the department handling the case? And most of all, why is the woman last seen with Robinson still unnamed, unsearched, unspoken? 2 people. 1 gun. A single shot that changed everything. But if the evidence doesn't match the story, who really pulled the trigger? This investigation is far from over. Subscribe and stand with those demanding answers. Comment with one word, justice, if you believe the truth must come out. And share this video because silence protects the liars, and your voice could break the wall. Together, we are not just viewers. We are truth seekers.